Now that the writers and artists are out of the way, let's get on to the top 5 series. First off, we have Detective Comics' Batwoman. Detective Comics with the Greg Rucka and J.H. Williams III team has been spectacular. I'll get more into it, in depth on it, in a little bit. Next up we have Scalped. It's more than Dashiell Bad Horse and Chief Red Crow, as you get more backstory on some of the main characters in this year. The story about Agent Nitz completely made me totally respect the guy in a whole new way and help understand his backstory and how he's the old curmudgeon that we see and know him as today. Scalped, war's coming. It's been such a fun, non-stop action thrill ride with this series. Bravo, Jason Aaron. Next up we have Green Lantern Corps. It's not just Blackest Night stuff. They've been having their own little relationship issues and fun stories as well this past year, especially with Guy and Kyle. Hate Kyle, but you love him in this series. Damn you, Tomasi, for making me love him. Next up we have The Amazing Spider-Man. I know I swore when after One More Day came out that I would never read a Spider-Man title again. Well, thanks to guys like Joe Kelly and Mark Waid, they really made me pick up the Spider-Man series this year, and it's just been fun. It's been almost on a weekly basis. The stories are cranking out. It just blows you away issue after issue, and the humor's there, and things don't get too complex or complicated. They keep them nice and simple, and if anything, they're trying to erase that whole past of One More Day. And finally, the one series that had me pumping my fists up in the air month after month was Green Lantern. Sure, it helps that Hal Jordan Green Lantern's my favorite comic book character, but Jeff Johns totally brought it with introducing new Green Lantern Corps, introducing the Blackest Night, what's going on in Hal's mind during all this. It's just a space cop with, you know, nothing to lose, it almost feels like sometimes. Issue after issue blows you away. If you're to read one series in the DC Universe right now, I would highly recommend that it would be Green Lantern. Hands down, favorite comic book series of 2009. Now that we got the series out of the way, let's get on to story arc. And the winner of this category is Detective Comics, number 854 through 857, and it's the Elegy story arc. And basically, we get the introduction of Batwoman, where she came from, why it took 2 years for this series to finally come out, and the gorgeous J.H. Williams III art on this. All of it just completely enthralled me. If every issue came out, that would be the first issue I read, whatever month it came out. It's just the whole storytelling that Greg Rucka tells of this Batwoman is holding her own. Sure, Batman's gone, she's holding down the fort, and even if it means going after and not knowing at the time and battling against her evil twin sister, it's drama, it's family feuds, it's all in the Batman universe. Gorgeous stuff, go check it out. And now on to the single issue category, and it's quite the pick. Last year I had Final Crisis Requiem because it almost made me cry. It was just such a telling story of the Martian Manhunter. Now, single issue for 2009, I think, was Jonah Hex number 50. Written by Justin Gray and Jimmy Palmiotti, art by Darwin Cook, and colors by Dave Stewart. This single issue had an all-star creative team, and it totally showed. You had Jonah Hex going after 50 guys, 50 bounties, and you get the story about him and his child that he never knew he had, and, you know, couldn't save the child, all with gorgeous depictions from Darwin Cook, who, you know, you'd mainly think of as superhero stuff and maybe Parker the Hunter. No, he does a great Western as well. So, if you had to spend $5 on a comic book, go spend it on Jonah Hex number 50. You don't have to know the backstory. You can pick it up and still have a good time. And finally, in this best of 2009, in my humble opinion, we have the best hardcover. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because this is going to be its own little episode in the next couple of weeks. It is the Asterios Pulla. It's by David Mazzucchelli, and it just came out of nowhere. It's like no one even saw this coming, and when it did finally come out, I was hearing nothing but rave reviews, and I was thinking, okay, before I buy into the hype, I'll let it all just simmer down, and then I'll go out and read it. I read it, and it's just artistically brilliant. If you've never even heard about this series before, do yourself a favor, Google it, go borrow it from a friend, go check it out at the library, or hell, buy it. It is well worth your money, and see why it is so artistically brilliant. I hope I could describe it enough without actually giving away anything, because that's going to be for that episode I was talking about. So that does it for the best of 2009, in my humble opinion. I've been your host, Cammy. If you want more Cammy's Comic Corner goodness, head on over to www.cammyscomiccorner.com. From there you can see my independent comics episodes, my Book of the Month episodes, and go on the forum and tell me why I was wrong, why I didn't put Bendis down, or why didn't I put Hitch down. Go argue your favorite top 5 of 2009. Prove me wrong, I dare you. Also, if you like any of the kick-ass t-shirts that you usually see me wearing on the weekly shows, head on over to www.deadlinegraphics.net and send Kelly an email. Marvel, Image, DC, Dark Horse, whatever comic book t-shirt you want, comic book-wise or even otherwise, send him an email. He'll show you what he's got. There's only one name that I trust when it comes to comic book t-shirts, and that is Kelly at deadlinegraphics.net. And another huge shout-out to Rising Sun Creations at rsc-online.com. They've been a spectacular sponsor of mine for the past year, and they really know how to bring it comics-wise as well. They specialize in the best of U.S. comic books, manga, and collectible toys imported straight from Japan. All conveniently located in one physical store location in Mission Valley, if you're in the San Diego area, and also online store at rsc-online.com. Great stuff. Go check them out. That does it for 2009. I'm looking forward to 2010 myself. Sure, you got some events coming up, like The Siege or Blackest Night wrapping up. But I'm hoping that, if anything, there won't be a lot of events, and a lot more indies are going to rise to this top. The cream rises to the top. Not just DC, Marvel, Image United events. So, until the best of 2010, this has been the best of 2009 in my humble opinion. I've been your host, Cammy. Go out and read some comics, and go celebrate 2010 in style. Good night, everybody.